Hi and welcome to another Canadian Express training video. Today we're going to talk about two different ways to live broadcast your flight, CXA-TV and live streaming to Twitch. Let's have a look. The first way to broadcast live images from your flight is to use CXA-TV. Installation of CXA-TV is very quick and simple, but you must have Microsoft.NET Framework 4.6.1 installed on your computer in order for CXA-TV to work. If you don't know if Microsoft.NET Frame is installed, simply go to Microsoft's download page and download a copy of net.461 from the Microsoft. And I find the easiest way to do this is just to go to a Google search. I would just type .NET Framework 4.6.1 in the Google search engine, and that'll bring you basically directly to a Microsoft download page. If we click on that, and we can see it's asking us about Microsoft.NET Framework 4.6.1, so we'll download a copy of that. Once that's downloaded, we can go ahead and run the installer. And if it comes up and says .NET Framework 4.6.1 or later is already updated on your machine, you can simply just hit the close button. Obviously, it's already installed on the machine. You don't need to continue any further. If it's not installed, then just simply follow along with the rest of the install sequence and allow it to install. In addition to .NET Framework 4.6.1, you must also have installed a copy of FSUIPC if you're running Flight Simulator or P3D, or if you're running X-Plane, you must have a copy of XPUIPC installed. Once all those packages are installed, then you're almost ready to start the install of CXA-TV. The one thing that remains is to ensure that any existing copies of CXA-TV on your computer are uninstalled first before installing the latest version. From the Canadian Xpress webpage, you're going to go to the download section, look for the CXA-TV client, and then download a copy somewhere on your computer. Once that's downloaded, we can go ahead and unzip that. And you can see that that will unzip into 4 separate files from the zip file. You want to take and right-click on setup.exe and run as administrator. The program will follow you through all the required steps in order to install CXA-TV on your computer. We'll go ahead and click Next. And it'll ask for what folder or what location on your computer that you want to install CXA-TV. The default folder is C:/CXA-TV Client. You can change this if you need to. In my case, all of my flight simulator software is on a dedicated D drive, so I'll just go ahead and change that, and then I can go ahead and click on Next. And it's ready to install CXA-TV on the computer. Go ahead and click Next again, and installation is complete. It's just that quick. We'll go ahead and close that. Before we run the program, we want to ensure that we have read and write access to the folder associated with CXA-TV. We'll navigate to where we have CXA-TV Client installed. Right-click on that folder and click on Properties. From there, we want to click on the Security tab, and then we want to click on Users. If in this box we don't see that we have full control, we would change that by clicking the Edit button. Again, clicking on Users to select that, clicking on Full Control, Apply, and OK. Now we have full control over that folder, and CXA-TV will run properly. Now we'll go ahead and run the application. It'll place a desktop icon on your desktop, And the first time that you run the application, you'll see that the CXA Code of Conduct appears on the screen. And you're encouraged to read this carefully, as any violation of this Code of Conduct can result in the termination of your Canadian Xpress membership. Once we've accepted the Code of Conduct, it'll bring up the CXA-TV client screen, and we go ahead and we're going to type in our name, first name and last name, and then our pilot ID, in my case CXA-480, and then the password that you will put in here is the same password that you'll use, or that you do use, on the CXA website and the Pilots Forum. Once we have our name and pilot ID and password in, we want to hit the Save button, and then CXA card or CXA-TV client will authenticate itself back to the Canadian Xpress CXA-TV.com. Next, we're going to set what part of the screen we want to capture, and by default, it's the primary monitor. So if you go ahead and press the test button at this point in time, you'll see that the primary monitor is being displayed on the test shot. If we wanted to capture just a specific area of the screen, and we could go ahead and click on the little pointer, and then we would pull up just a portion of the screen, and then we could hit the test button. And you can see it's not only showing just that range. However, if we just want to use the primary monitor, or if you have multiple monitors, you can go ahead and select on multiple monitors, and then when you hit the test button, you'll see that all monitors that you have connected to your computer are now showing up. In my case, I've got 3 monitors. I'm going to go back and change that to primary monitor. That's pretty much as what you're going to need to see on CXA-TV, and it's typically going to be the main screen that your flight simulator is being projected on. Next, what we'll do is we'll set the number of seconds between capture, and this goes as low as 10 seconds and as high as 60 seconds. Depending upon the strength of your machine, and if you notice any lagging, you might want to set this to a longer period between captures. For most cases, however, setting it between 10 and 15 seconds on most machines is going to be quite okay. Once we've determined which parts of the screen that we want to broadcast, the next what we want to do is fill in what would be our departure and destination airports. By doing this, we send data to CXA-TV, which can't normally be picked up by FSUIPC. So if I was flying between Halifax and Shearwater airports, I would simply put them in the boxes as such. If you're flying a multi-leg flight, such as on VFR Friday or Bush League Sunday, what you would do is you would put the departure airport of your first leg and the destination airport of your final leg in these 2 boxes. And now we would click on Broadcast to send our screenshots based on how many seconds we've asked between captures to the CXA-TV.com site. Now we will navigate back to the Canadian Xpress website. If you'd also filed a flight plan using CXA cars, you would see your flight show up in the current flights table. At the far right of the table, you would see an icon for CXA-TV, which indicates that you are broadcasting so that other Canadian Xpress pilots could watch your flight. Filing the CXA car's flight plan also would create an entry for your flight in the flight tracker page on the Canadian Xpress webpage. On the Operations pull-down menu, select Flight Tracker, and then you will see the same current flights table along with your current position on the map. Again, if you are broadcasting on CXA-TV, the icon will display in the table. If you have not filed a flight plan as yet, then the only location that your CXA-TV session link will appear will be on the CXA-TV.com webpage, which is reached via the link at the top left of the Canadian Xpress webpage home screen, or by using the link that is embedded in the CXA-TV client. And now we can see that we've got 2 pilots that are broadcasting on CXA-TV at this time. There's myself, of course, and you can see that I've entered in Halifax to Shearwater, and our very own Dave Weiss, CXA-007, Mr. Bond himself, is broadcasting, and we can basically click on the CXA-TV link and see what's showing up on his page. If you're getting a black screen in your CXA-TV client feed from the simulator, it is likely that you have anti-aliasing turned on in the simulator. In order for CXA-TV to properly broadcast images from your simulator, you must have anti-aliasing turned off in the sim. CXA-TV comes with 2 themes that you can select from. There is the white theme that is the default when CXA-TV client is installed. As well, there is a black theme for those that want a darker motive on their desktop. CXA-TV will broadcast still images only, thus making it a better choice for pilots who have limited PC resources or internet bandwidth, as it's very light and uses very few resources. For those pilots that are not faced with PC or bandwidth issues, there's another option, which is live streaming to Twitch, we will talk about in a moment. If you're going to stream on Twitch, you're also encouraged to broadcast on CXA-TV, so those that don't have a lot of bandwidth can still watch you fly on CXA-TV.com. There are two parts to streaming live on Twitch. The first, of course, is a Twitch account. The second being a piece of screen capture software which will send the images to the Twitch website. First, let's go look for Twitch. And in order to find that, I would type Twitch TV into a Google web page. And the first item that comes up is the Twitch.tv website, which is www.twitch.tv. So here we are at the Twitch website, and you can see on the top right here my user ID. I've used my pilot ID from Canadian Xpress as my user ID. And if you're going to use Twitch TV only for broadcasting your live flights with Canadian Xpress, then I would encourage you to do the same, and that use your pilot ID as your username, and that will make it a lot easier for other Canadian Xpress pilots to find you on Twitch in order to be able to view your feed. You'll also need to know what your Twitch stream key is in order to pump that back into whatever piece of software that you're going to use for the streaming, in order to be able to connect to Twitch with the streaming software. In order to find your stream key, you would come up, once you have your account set up, and you would go to the dashboard. From the dashboard page, you need to come over and click on Settings. And then from Settings at the very top here, you'll see the link to the stream key, and a button is there in order to show the key. And of course, the warning comes up, never ever share your key with anybody, of course. You click on I understand, and of course it'll bring up your stream key. And now on my screen, I'm going to make sure that that's pixelated so that nobody can copy my key. And you would simply copy and paste that into whatever software that you're going to use for broadcasting from. Okay, with that done, let's go look at what we'd use for broadcasting software. And the software that I use is Open Broadcaster, and it's the one I would recommend for most people to use. It's quite easy to install and set up. And in order to find that, of course, we want to go to a Google page, and what you want to type in is obsproject.com. And that'll bring up the Open Broadcaster software homepage, and go ahead and download the latest version of OBS. Once we have OBS installed, we want to make a couple of key changes to the way that OBS is set up in order to ensure, for one, we do not want to ever be broadcasting our dedicated TeamSpeak channel or anything that's coming over the microphone from the TeamSpeak channel onto a live feed to the internet. That's just a no-no. So what we want to do, and I suggest others would make the following similar changes to their settings within OBS, is go to Edit, Advanced Audio Properties, and then you'll see a couple of different feeds here. One will be for your microphone, and then the other one for your desktop audio. And in my case, I set up the microphone with tracks 1 and 2, and the desktop audio for tracks 1 and 3. So what this means is if I ever select track 1, I'll get both my microphone and my desktop audio. If I select track 2, then I will only get my microphone, and on track 3, I will only get my desktop audio. Let's go ahead and close that. And then there are more settings that we need to look at. So if we come down here and we click on the settings button, there will be a whole bunch. And under General, there's really nothing that needs to be changed there. And under Stream, this is of course where you would select Twitch as your streaming service. There are a number of other ones on there, of course, but we're doing this for Twitch. And there, of course, is where you would put that stream key from Twitch into Open Broadcaster. On the output side, when I'm streaming, you can see I'm selecting audio track 3, and that's only taking the desktop audio feed and not the microphone feed from my headset. So that's one crucial setting in order to ensure that we're not broadcasting our TeamSpeak channel over Twitch. And if I'm simply just doing screen recordings for videos such as this, of course, then I've selected audio track 1. So that of course is picking up the microphone, and it's picking up the desktop audio if there is any being broadcast. Under audio, the next thing that you want to check to make sure that you're not sending out anything to the desktop audio is come to the desktop audio device and make sure that that is set to your speakers. That way any sounds that are coming from the simulator, and you've got that set to your speakers, you're going to get the same thing going out to your Twitch feed. So if you're broadcasting your flight, they'll hear all the sounds from the simulator, but nothing from the microphone. If this had been set to the headset earphone, then there's a good chance that you would actually be hearing the feed if I was talking on the TeamSpeak channel. Let's go ahead and make sure that that's set to speakers and anything other than our headset microphone. You have the option of using some push-to-talk buttons. And then under video, you may want to reduce the output scale resolution from 1920 by 1080 to something like, I can't change it right now because I'm recording, but something like a 1240 by 720. Okay, and then of course there's an opportunity to set all different hotkeys. I'm not really going to get into any of that in this video. So that's pretty much it. Now we've got our Twitch account is set up, and we've got Open Broadcaster software set up, is ready to go, and then we basically would just hit the Start Streaming button, and that would start streaming to the Twitch TV website. So we'll demonstrate that next. I'm going to go ahead and open up a flight simulator session, and then show that streaming to Twitch TV. Okay, so now I have a copy of my flight simulator up and running, and in order to show you how this actually broadcasts out to Twitch, I actually have to set up a separate camera pointing at my one of my other monitors, because if I show you the feed while I'm streaming, it's just going to actually show one of those continuous feedback loops and see the same image tunneling in, much like you do when I bring this over here and you see the image tunneling in. So I'm just going to set that off to the side, and when I click on the Start Streaming button, I can pull this over and show you that it does say, are you sure you want to start the stream? And I'll click ahead and say yes on that. So there's a bit of a delay between the stream actually starting and it showing up on the Twitch web page. So that delay is anywhere between 7 to 20 seconds, and internet connection speed can affect that, of course. So, so now we can see the stream is running. I'm going to go ahead and click on this screen and start the engines here. And you'll have to bear with me because I'm doing this only with a mouse and a set of rudder pedals, so it's not going to be the best flight going here. So I'm going to just taxi around. I'm at the airport here in Debert, and there we are. So that's basically it for live streaming to Twitch. Very easy to set up and do. There are some optional graphics that you can add to your Twitch page. If you like, it will show up the Canadian Xpress logo. There's the banner that, of course, when I wasn't streaming. So if I go ahead and stop that stream, and again, it asks me, are you sure you want to stop the stream? I'll say yes to that. And we'll see that once the stream is stopped on the Twitch page, it comes up with a nice Canadian Xpress graphic. And there we are. It shows that I'm offline, but I'll be back online sometime soon. So that's available on the CXA website. Navigate to the website and look for the Twix graphics. Download that, and there's an instruction set with the package on how to install those graphics into Twitch. In order for the current flight table and the flight tracker to link properly to your Twitch channel, you need to enter your Twitch ID into your Canadian Xpress account settings. Navigate to the Pilots drop-down menu and select Edit Account. At the next screen, update your Twitch ID in the appropriate box and then hit Submit. And that's it for another Canadian Express training video. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and remember to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Until then, I'm Trevor Bagnall, blue skies, and we'll see you in the next video.